NBA playoff action last night. The Minnesota Timberwolves went on and held serve, got the 2-0 lead against the Phoenix Suns, 105-93. But, typical fashion for the Karl Anthony Towns. Glad to see him on the court. But what I noticed about Karl Anthony Towns is he cannot stay out of foul trouble. That early foul trouble almost gave Phoenix Suns a victory last night.
He is so handsy. When is he gonna learn? Like, I don't get it. This is something that he suffered, not suffered, but he went through last season, playoff season. And he goes through it during the regular season. But do you not know that sometimes they swallow the whistle during playoffs and sometimes they don't? And then he gets it every time. And if he doesn't figure it out, it's going to be a detriment when they get to round two. Because is it too early to say this series is over? Is it too early to say? I know it's
It's
only
too early.
I know it's only 2-0 and Timberwolves are up by 2. I get it. And then they're going to go game 3. We're playing the Suns again. But y'all, are the Timberwolves too much for the Suns? With all
It's
that,
looking like it.
oh my God, all that firepower that they have between Bill, KD, and Booker, what is in Nurkic? Like, what's going on? This series, I'll tell you this. If the Suns don't pull a win in game 3, the series is absolutely over. I don't see them coming back and winning 4 straight. That's what I don't see.
And no, that's not going to happen. But check it out, though. Last night, Anthony Edwards only scored 15 points, 5 rebounds. But you know what? The others chipped in. Really happy to see Jaden
Oh
McDaniels
my
get it on
gosh.
both sides of the basketball. 25 and 8. Took it real personal against Devin Booker. They got into their little scuffle. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'd like to see that. This is playoff basketball. I need to see some emotions flying. I love to see that. But the fact that the Wolves were able to get the victory with very little contribution from Anthony Edwards, it says a lot about their team, says a lot about their defense, and Coach Finch, how all the guys have built, have basically bought in. Because Mike Conley, he'll just give out assists. But last night, 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Happy to see him get going too, because they're going to need him. Because Anthony Edwards is not going to always be able to get 35, 15, and 10 you know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's why you build a roster. That's why the pieces are important around you. So yeah, no, but he still contributes. Maybe not at a high clip as he did in game 1, but hey, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Timberwolves got the win, and I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so there was another game last night. The NBA still think they're slick, right? Putting the Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks on NBA TV. Almost like an afterthought. And I thought it was so funny when Tyrese Halliburton said post game, well, we've had better regular season crowds than what we played in Milwaukee the last two playoff games.
Wait a minute. No, no, no. I'm all 100% with him because the text I sent you was like, "Are the Bucks fans cardboard cutouts?" It gave me a reminiscent of the bubble. I said, "Why they not moving?" It was just that. No, mm-mm. It's not the Kings fan base. Sure, it's not Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks
Mm-mm,
fan base.
mm-mm.
I don't know what it was. I didn't like it. Everybody was sitting down with their white shirts on. It didn't give me any energy. Zero energy. They looked like cardboard cutouts. I couldn't believe it. So yes,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. And I'm like, are the Bucks excited? I mean, this is y'all at home. Mm-mm.
No, Damian Lillard gave it all he had, but it just wasn't enough. Pascal Siakam, he he went into playoff mode, 37 points,
Yes, he did.
11 rebounds.
Yes, he did.
And the funny thing is Halliburton had 12 assists, but the team overall had 38, which meant they were sharing the basketball. I can't say the same thing about the Milwaukee Bucks. It just felt
No.
like Dame was trying to shoot. He was trying to save the game. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and I get it. You know, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, to me, he looked worried on the bench. He didn't look like himself, and I understand they're not going to be getting him back this series. So good luck, Bucks.
Good luck, Bucks. I know if the Pacers this momentum that they just acquired with the win they just got. I don't know. I don't know. And then they're going to go home to Indiana for game 3, correct?
Yeah.
Ooh, and that crowd is going to be a little bit more hype because that Bucks crowd was not. So, yeah, I think I still want a little bit more from Tyrese Halliburton. He just still doesn't seem like he's got it all back after he's returned from his hamstring injury. It's still, I'm still waiting for him to turn it up like he did prior to his injury. Just turn it up a little bit, you know.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
once he does that, if the complementary pieces and the other players are doing their part, then it's all good. But yeah, I'm happy for the. I'm glad the series is tied. It's tied 1-1. Makes it a little bit more interesting. And so yeah, we'll see how game 3 goes for the Bucks and the Pacers.
Yeah. So the Pacers got the victory, 125-108. But leave it up to the Los Angeles Clippers to have Kawhi Leonard return in a loss. Uh, Did they take their foot off the gas? Because game one, they looked great.
No, I think that the when they inserted Kawhi Leonard, it disrupted the energy. It just did because he wasn't ready. He's not in basketball shape, I guess, because he is just coming back. I think they said the last time he played was February, maybe. I could be
Hmm.
mistaken about the date, but it's been a while. And so here he is now. He's trying to get his legs back up under him, looking a little slow, looking a little lethargic. That's how he appeared to
Yes.
me last night. I was just like, he's just labored. And I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all. I think they should have waited. I don't know. Maybe he just should have set out for the entire series. Maybe. Hopefully, game 3 he will, be back on track with his normal play style. He will have a little bit more energy because it was really lackluster when he came. I didn't like it at all. And then they had to
Hmm.
adjust. And so, unfortunately, what happens? James Harden didn't get his touches or as many touches as he had in game 1, and I think it did impact them overall. Yeah.
I mean, I was like, golly. I mean, it felt like the game was in slow motion until Luca hit that game winner, right? But he shot the ball, Luca, 26 times. Is anybody else playing on the court with the Dallas Mavericks?
No, I told you we spoke about them the last in game 1, where each player they're looking for Luca. Now I am excited to know that PJ Washington came through. He did a little something, and I
Mm.
like to see other players get involved. Either and not only is just be Luca and Kyrie. So yeah, 26 times is excessive. I think.
It is when you have an NBA champion and all star in Kyrie Irving. And if the goal is to make it to the next round and not be worn out,
Yes.
I mean, you got to share the wealth at some point. This is
Yes.
just,
Yeah.
yeah. But hey, the Mavs tied up the series 96-93 last night. But what in the world is going on tonight? Is tonight the night when the games will be exciting?
Yes, tonight's games are the ones, right? Game 2 of the Heat Celtics and game 2 of the Pelicans and Thunder. Yes, I want all the heat. And I hope they have the energy to take it. Now, I am still concerned that Jimmy Butler will not be uh, playing in the game against the Celtics, but it will still be enough to hopefully keep me interested. But yeah, this has to be the night where the games are going to be phenomenal.
I sure hope so because the Heat cannot afford to go down 0-2 against the Boston Celtics. With or without Jimmy, they just can't do it.
Right. Right. And what are you predicting for the OKC and Pels game?
Wow, considering that game one went all the way down to the wire,
Mhm.
it just seems like they're crazy enough, evenly matched. But the Pels, they have someone in their back pocket that they're anticipating returning in
Yep.
Zion Williamson. So I'm gonna go with the 1-1 tonight. I think the Pels can tie it up tonight.
Okay. I'm gonna go with OKC making the series 2-0. Mm-hmm.
All
With them
right.
being favored. Yeah, I hope so. Because I'm rooting for OKC all the day, all the way.
Oh,
Because we don't know if
yeah.
Zion's playing, right?
Nah, I don't think he is. And
Hmm.
I'm rooting for OKC too. I have them coming out of this series, but
Okay.
I want this series to go at least 6 or 7 games.
Yeah. And I would be okay if the Pels did pull a victory because then that means that game 3 is even going to be fire. So, I just think that there's so much to gain and so much to lose with these two teams that They're hungry for it. So it's gonna be a little bit different. Yeah.